What is this piece that's just sitting here because it's not connected to anything?
Hey, don't worry about that little piece. Come on.
That's nothing. That happens all the time.
Air Force pilot, I'd take it. Hi, my name is Rob Rigo. I'm a pilot in the Air Force and a comedian.
And then this very brave pilot has to make a split-second decision between landing in New Jersey or just putting it down in the river.
And today I'm going to be reviewing the Rehearsal Season 2. Everybody who knows me asked me if I've watched the show. So the whole premise of the show is about aviation safety and the idea of communication in the cockpit being a lead cause of plane crashes.
It relates to communication in the cockpit.
Oh, yes.
The premise of this show that communication in the cockpit, plane crashes that had happened in the past that were caused when the co-pilot knew something was wrong and didn't expand upon it.
Pilot flying idiot, I should be holding.
Come on, talking like that to a first officer, what's that going to make her feel like?
Why are they not saying anything?
Sometimes you're afraid of the status of the other guy, but then also there's times where you just are wrong, especially as a co-pilot, you're a newer person. If you're the captain, you want to normalize an environment where it's we're gonna speak up about everything because it's better to be wrong, say something than be right and not say anything. And especially in the plane I fly in the military, they do a really good job about talking about this. We study plane crashes, so we study all these crashes that he talks about. I've read about or watched recreations of, or sometimes we fly them in the sim, exactly what happened. I have an engineer and a navigator in the cockpit as well. So it's 4 of us. So it's really easy in my plane, just every idea goes through a lot more eyes, and you have a lot more confidence with any kind of decisions.
Even though I had the resources to potentially solve this life or death issue and save real humans from dying.
So much credit to HBO for just giving this guy the budget he wants. And the amount of questions he must get, wait, you need what? You need $1 million to do what? How long? 6 seconds of the show? The lawyers that they must have had. And I honestly think there's some, this is a show. And he's a storyteller. It's not all true. Some of it is, there's some fake stuff going on behind the scenes. There's some real stuff. There's some real interactions. There's some real people in it. But there are some tricks, and that's fine because he's an artist and he's blurring the lines artistically and creating a full picture. No one else is doing anything like this.
Golden ticket to everyone?
I know.
So this is
I was okay.
We only want to give to the best.
He creates a singing competition to have pilots tell singers no, that they failed. It's American Idol. And this I genuinely agree with, and it is something that's truly hard because Nathan Fielder's whole thesis statement of this show is that people have this naturally human autistic reaction to conflict. It's not something that you can just fix, but it is something you literally can work on and recognize. And learning how to use language that is doesn't trigger people's defenses, I think is a very critical skill. This is my favorite little arc of the show. He's trying to relive Sully's life. Starting as a baby. So he makes a whole room that's giant size so he looks small. Imagine telling the prop people that this is what you need.
So I tried not to think about the fact that I was a 41-year-old man and just did my best to be present. And he keeps using phrases like, I found ways to cope without getting into specifics.
Alcohol.
Mental health stuff, I've been struggling with this because historically, if you put something on a medical application or if you talk to a doctor or the FAA finds out about things, they can just revoke your medical certificate. And as soon as your medical certificate is revoked, you are grounded.
You have a medical requirement, obviously, as a pilot to be healthy. That makes sense, and we're all fine with that. But it's there's a lot of times gray areas for all kinds of people. And if anyone's feeling they'll ask you, do you have, and he takes the test later, he's do you have anxiety? And it's who the fuck doesn't have anxiety? You can see the conflict of interest where it's if you fess up to this, you lose your job. Obviously you should do that, but it is a conflict of interest. That is a safety issue that is hard to navigate.
Sir, I have an opening right now if you'd like to try a session out.
I'm all right.
What would a guy like Sully do to cope?
Here we go. Yeah.
Hey, Sully, forget airplanes. You want something that's gonna help you really fly?
I can't do that.
Maybe in the 80s that happened.
I'm gonna have to report.
But the one band he mentions more than any other is Evanescence. And living as him, I could understand why.
This is my favorite part of this show, is like he finds out that he mentions the song by Evanescence several times in the book. His theory from his book is that Sully Sullenberger, before he landed a plane in the Hudson River, listened to the chorus of Evanescence, Bring Me to Life, and I support that theory.
I had decided there was no better way to understand pilots than to become one myself.
Go full power. I'm gonna pitch out.
The show is so cool, and I think as a comedian, it is really impressive to see somebody like actually put themselves there and put themselves into a place where it's like hypothetically dangerous.
While I was in the sky above the airport, a student pilot and his instructor crashed and died. After that happened, I decided to take a month off of real flying and just pretended to fly instead. And I even went as far as visualizing bragging about my perfect landings to other pilots.
I'm fine with crosswinds. I feel like I can land those perfectly.
That's the most important part, to brag about your landings. The chair flying is like, that's something you actually do as a pilot. Like you will pretend to fly a takeoff checklist, blah, 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 this, and you imagine yourself hitting all the buttons. And then you're like, okay, I'm going to push my throttles up. I'm going to look for these kind of numbers on my gauges. And it really does work. And it's why aviation is such a great medium for him. You do these like little rehearsals for life. And he was not a natural at this. Like he was 125 hours to get your solo is a lot, way too long. But then he goes all the way to getting his type rating in a 737 right after a commercial. You get a commercial license at 250 hours minimum with a bunch of requirements. So once you have a commercial license, you can fly people for money. But if you want to fly anything over 12,500 pounds, which is not that much for airplanes, you need a type rating in that plane. And for a 737, that's insanely expensive. The only people that would do it are airlines. Airlines pay to have their pilots get the type rating. And to get in the airlines, you need at least 1,500 hours and an ATP. To be a commercial 250-hour commercial pilot with a 737 type rating is like unheard of. His timeline for like filming all this, I would like to see, but it seems like he had his idea that it was going to culminate in this 737 flight. And I think he worked backwards to like make the story get to that point, because like he was training to fly for 2 years. So then this is the co-pilot for the flight that he's going to do. This guy wants to do it because he has a YouTube channel and he like would want to work with Nathan Fielder. I'd do it, but I couldn't find him on YouTube. I'm going to look some more, but I couldn't find this YouTube channel. And the thing is, it's like this guy, I don't know if he's real or not. Oh yeah, this real quick is so funny.
This is basically like ready to,
when he's looking to, like, it's hard to get a 737 also, by the way. And this guy is like insisting that the plane's good to go.
This is fine as is?
Yeah.
What is this piece that's just sitting here because it's not connected to anything?
Hey, don't worry about that little piece. Come on.
That's nothing. That happens all the time.
Air Force pilot, I'd take it. There's a bird nest in the intake, by the way, for that scene. And then he goes and like finds like this whole connection with like autism and then he goes to take an autism test and like basically on his television show gets diagnosed with autism.
Thinking about it, in all the aviation movies or shows that I've seen, I don't think the actor's ever actually flown the airplane. So I was wondering if this is the first time.
Because like if this is real, like that is insane to be like, he's being told he's in an HBO production. One, it's like, how does he know? I mean, you obviously know it's Nathan and you must look up his stuff. He hasn't flown the real plane yet, supposedly, in this, the way it's being presented here. And like, yes, you can land the sim, and yes, you are qualified in the simulator, but It's different when you like when the plane is actually moving and you're rolling down the runway with 500,000 pounds. Like there's you start to get a little bit dumber when you start doing this. It takes a while to build that experience and comfortability in a real airplane, and then so to do this with a guy who's not aware of your situation, that you have 250 fucking hours and you're flying a 737, and you have 150 people in the back who aren't really aware. Supposedly, they don't know that you've never landed this plane before. That's crazy. So you go straight from a simulator to the airplane. That is true, but you're with an instructor for the first time, and they know your thing, and they're watching the shit out of you, and you're gonna like. So this guy, like, he's obviously qualified, but I wonder if he's actually just an instructor, like a who's being paid to act as this isn't happening. But if, let's say something bad happens, like that you don't have the experience and you need to either decide to take off or not take off, you don't want like a really young, inexperienced person making that decision. Or at least you want an instructor there who's gonna be like, oh, actually, I got it. Like, I'm gonna reject the takeoff. The amount of insurance they had to buy for 150 unaware actors in the back. Like, if he had crashed, like HBO would be done as a company. Like the lawsuit of like, oh, you let a brand new pilot fly 100. Oh yeah, they did. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, did they not read it? Did they not, like, they had to?
I feel like if I got something going through my mind, I usually say it.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's all you have to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty easy.
And most of the time it's nonsense, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, the nonsense is fine too, even if you're not sure of the thought.
Yeah.
If you think it might be important, so.
Yeah.
That is good. That is a good, like, good things to be saying. Just, you feel something, fess up, like, no worries.
How do you feel about me landing this thing?
I'm confident.
Yeah?
How about you?
Are you?
Yeah.
Based on what?
I don't know. I feel like you can kind of tell if someone's capable or not pretty quick. And I feel like you're plenty capable.
This lands the same as the sim, right? The simulator?
What?
This lands the same as the simulator, right?
Yeah.
Like, if that's true, dude, it's just like, what the fuck? Are you kidding? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
40, 30, 20, 10.
That's crazy. So then this is the last thing, and he like just drops at the end after the credits.
V1, rotate.
During my spare time, I started working as a pilot for a company that relocates empty 737s.
Like, this motherfucker got a real job. Like, he got a real, probably 6-figure job flying 737s with a, I mean, but it's like, he's Nathan Fielder. Like, you just like, you know, a lot of people get pilot's license and like go fly, but he got a job. Nathan Fielder is ferrying a 737 for money he doesn't need. It's just like, it's so cool. Yeah. It's autism. The way that this guy is committing to the bit and going further than anyone else is willing to go. You know, most of us aren't willing to like do jokes that we don't think will land like with certain audiences. And it's like, this guy does not care. He's doing exactly what he wants, and that's so cool. I think that it goes beyond just like piloting. The idea that like we need to act out our ability to critique each other and not be so fucking butthurt about it. Like, you see in politics right now, or just everywhere in society, people get so upset and nobody can take blame for what they're doing, or no one will take any kind of feedback without being, you're considered a detractor and trying to destroy them. Like, you need to be able to be like, hey, you're fucking up, and then the other person to be like, cool, thank you. I think aviation is a cool microcosm of society, and it's something that we've worked on, and we study this kind of stuff because we realize with aviation, it's like the consequences are so dire. Like, you're gonna kill all these people, so we can't have that. So we really focused on that problem, and it's something that aviation has gotten super safe over the years. It's like the perfect match for him as a social scientist, comedian, to like have these moments where it's like, oh yeah, this moment leads to very real consequences. And the consequences and the risk is what makes like good comedy.